if you haven't, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join the Sneaker Life fam because we going up this year, guys. Believe me, we going up. But guys, today I will be bringing you 5 releases that have slowly crept up in value over the past 2 to 3 years. So I don't want to waste no time. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribing. And without further ado, let's jump right into it, guys. So, first shoe that I want to talk about, guys, that crept up in value, and it is actually one of my most favorite shoes, and I still am on the hunt for these shoes unless I find a good deal, which is the pine green ones. Now, guys, the pine green ones did release in 2019, guys, and these did release for a retail price of $160. Now, if you're wondering which pine green I'm talking about the first one, the 1.0s. I know most people were stagnant with the 2.0s. Most people would love the 2.0s, but me, I'm more of a OG, so I'm going more with the pine green 1.0s. But that shoe slowly crept up, guys. It was a dope shoe. In my opinion, guys, I love the shoe. I love what the shoe, has done throughout the years. And I did mention, guys, that if you do sleep, not to sleep on them, pine green 3s, because, as you guys see, the pine green ones are, they slowly crept up throughout the years. So I did mention that the pine green 3s will do the same. But guys, when these did first release, the resale value wasn't high. The resale value was maybe around that $230 range, guys. But these did start to increase throughout the years, guys. And now, guys, this shoe is a 500 plus shoe. Taking a look at the graph, you guys can see that this shoe kind of did fluctuate in value, meaning this shoe was at one point this shoe was at $260, then it dropped to maybe a $240. So as you guys can see with the graph, this shoe did fluctuate in prices. It did go up and down, but it slowly started to creep up. Now this is a $500 plus shoe, guys. And that is why I say I would have to get this shoe for a deal, because 500 plus, who knows how much I'm gonna pay for this shoe. Next shoe I want to talk about, guys, and it is a shoe that I have, but I actually beat them up, guys, which is the Jordan 6 infrareds. Now, this shoe dropped in 2019, guys. Now, if you guys remember, we had the Jordan 6, I believe it was the Pack Black, if I'm not mistaken, where there were 2 colorways. You had a white and red colorway, then you had your infrared colorway. Now, I still have my infrareds, being that they are beat up, because I used to play basketball in mine a lot. But, this shoe, was just one of my favorite 6s of all to drop. Like, I just love the shoe, and, me just having a new pair would grant me, my wishes, because, or even getting my pair fixed up, because, as you guys can see, my pair that I have now is highly, torn, and I feel like I just need a new pair. But guys, when these did, release, resale value, as I mentioned, also was, stagnant, and these were, going for a retail, not retail, but the resale value on these was roughly around that $220 to $230 range, and these also started, price was fluctuating with these as well, guys. But now, guys, the price on these and the resale value, as you can see on the graph, guys, the resale value on these, guys, did go up to, that $250 range. And it just, throughout the years shot up. Now this is a $400 shoe, guys. Yes, and I could definitely see this shoe going up, a bit more throughout the years. So, I definitely am looking forward to getting maybe another pair, because my pair that I have now are just, they finito. Next shoe I want to talk about, guys, and this is a shoe that, we've seen on, we've seen multiple colorways of, not even multiple colorways, we've seen multiple versions of this shoe, guys, and it is none other than the Jordan 4 Breads that released in 2019. Now, guys, this shoe did retail for $200, guys. And granted that we do have, a Jordan 4, bread coming out this year, but it is coming out in a golf, colorway, which, um, I don't see why they make these golf shoes, but I'm not here to complain, but I really wish we would have gotten a Jordan 4 bread, that we could have, just had regular this year. But guys, this shoe, suddenly shot up. This shoe was around that, 230 range, guys, and most of these shoes, they're roughly around that 230 to 240 range. This shoe did shoot up to that 250, 255 range. Guys, this shoe is now a $500 plus shoe, guys. And I'm again, if I had to give an exact price, guys, I would give, I would say that this shoe is roughly around that 540 to 550 range. So this is another shoe that has slowly crept up throughout these last 2 to 3 years, that I can still slowly see creeping up throughout the next maybe 2 to 3 years as well, guys. And granted that this is actually one of my favorite fours that actually came out, like, besides the fire red fours, this is actually one of my favorite fours that came out. And I actually wish that I had this shoe, but I was not focused on this shoe at the time, guys. Next release that I want to talk about, guys, is a release that I feel like most people slept on, but it is the colorway that attracts me to the shoe, and it is none other than the UNC Jordan 3s. I was gonna say Jordan 6s, but Jordan 3s. Now, guys, these did retail for $190, guys. And for most of you, let me give you a back history on the shoe. This shoe was, this shoe does resemble the collegiate pair that was gifted to the coaching staff from the University of North Carolina, where Michael Jordan played. And these also, were resembled for Michael Jordan's NCAA tournament at the University of North Carolina. Had to give you guys kind of like a quick backstory to the shoe. But the colorway was dope, guys. This shoe, I know most people probably wasn't feeling the colorway on the shoe, but this shoe was a high demand when it did come out, guys. And this shoe, the resale value was around that. The resale value on these was around like that 220 range, guys. Yeah, roughly around that 220 range. But guys, the resale value now has shot up to almost $500. I want to say these are roughly around that 480 to 485 range. I could definitely still see these going up, just because it has that dope UNC colorway. But guys, this is a shoe that is in my I had to put it as a top 5 because it crept up throughout the years. And I could definitely with majority of these shoes, I could definitely see these creeping up throughout the years. And that's the thing, guys, with a lot of shoes that we don't see. A lot of times the shoes that we feel that may sit and have no value, those wind up going up in value. As I mentioned, and I'm gonna keep saying it with the court purples, those are going to increase in value. Even though releases do come out, a lot of times they don't always set out to do what they do. Some, it's sometimes hard to tell if a release is gonna, price is gonna drop on a day, the release does drop, or if price is gonna go up. But best believe if it is a hype beast shoe, like the cool grades, then best believe price is definitely going to shoot up, But then price is going to stagnate, just like with the patent leather breads. Price is going to continue to stagnate on that, So we'll just have to, wait and see. Also, guys, last shoe that I want to talk to you guys about, and it is none other than my favorite because it resembles an actual pair of, Jordans that came out in 2014, is the cap and gown Jordan 11s. Now, I put this here because, guys, this shoe does resemble one of my favorite shoes, and I actually had this shoe and I beat them to the ground, guys, which was the Jordan 11 Gammas. Now, around that time, I was younger. I was just doing a lot, what I'm saying? So, My shoes had, you know, they just, I use my shoes for a lot. I use them for playing basketball. I use them for, you know, for most, you know, I used to play baseball, so, you know, I use them for baseball a lot. I use them for running, hiking, a lot of things. So guys, this shoe was, you know, highly one of my favorite. But the cap and gowns highly resembles the, you know, Gamma 11s, and I want to say I kind of put it as, you know, the cap and gowns are a younger brother Gamma 11, guys. This shoe did release in May, you know, and I don't believe I gave you guys, oh yeah guys, the UNCs also released in March, you know, as well. But guys, these did release in May, you know. I believe these released in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe these released in 2018, guys. And the resale, these did retail, guys, for $250. Now, guys, that isn't to say, you know, oh, these retail for a crazy price, because, guys, when the Lightning 4s came out, those retail for a price of $220. Now, you know, I mentioned that, you know, the more we keep paying for these shoes, the more Nike and Jordan is going to keep upping their prices. Now, guys, with the resale value on these guys, these were roughly around, you know, that 300 range, that 330 range to 340 range, and these slowly crept up as well. Now, guys, this is a $600 plus shoe, guys. And if I had to give you an estimated amount, guys, I would say this is maybe roughly around, you know, a $610 to $620 shoe, guys. So you guys can see, you know, where these shoes mark on the radar, as you can see on, you know, the graph that I have, guys. If you can't get the actual pair, you know, you can get a used pair. You know, it's nothing wrong with getting a used pair. All you got to do is just, you know, clean them down, brush them down, do whatever you got to do to them to make them look official like the new pair. But I will say, if you can't find these shoes for a good deal or a good steal, then, you know, shouts out to you. That's all I have for you today, guys. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for sitting here. And if you guys have watched the whole video, make sure to comment down below and let me know what was your favorite release, guys, and which release do you guys look forward to. But as I always say, guys, reach for the stars. Sky's the limit. And we out.